Well, as we gear towards the UEFA Champions League finals, we say what a way to welcome you to the Joy News Prime, coming to you live from our studio here in Kokomlemle. And this news is live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125, and around the world on myjoyonline.com. My name is Samuel Kojo Brace.
I'm Noella Karen Yali, and tonight in our top story, NPP's 2024 flag bearer, Dr. Mamadou Bawumia, vows to pursue legal channels to secure bail for Chairman Wontumi after attempt at the National Investigations Bureau to have him released were failed.
Very disappointed in our inability to see him because we had made prior arrangements, and so we've expressed our disappointment, and we want to continue and to make sure that we can see him.
Well, we have more on that detention.
Okay. Also tonight, former IT head at Ghana Embassy in Washington refutes claims of financial misconduct. Details as the embassy issued over 800 visas on the first day of reopening.
You're welcome back. Now, the NPP's 2024 flag bearer, Dr. Mamadou Bawumia, has expressed disappointment after the party's efforts to secure bail for Chairman Wontumi a while ago were unsuccessful. Now, speaking outside the National Investigations Bureau headquarters, where Wontumi is allegedly being held, Dr. Bawumia said the party's leadership is not satisfied with the current arrangement and demands that the NIB make proper provisions to ensure Wontumi's availability.
Now, he urged party supporters who gathered outside the NIB headquarters to remain calm and cautious. Watch this.
We had made some arrangements to come and see our chairman, Wontumi, who was arrested and has been held in custody by EOCO. And so we wanted to see him and see how he was doing. We've made those arrangements. Unfortunately, we are here that the NIB and EOCO feel that the crowd is such that they are not able to bring him here at the moment, and they would have to make proper arrangements to bring him so that we can see him. And we are going to continue making those arrangements. We are very, very disappointed in our inability to see him because we had made prior arrangements, and so we've expressed our disappointment, and we want to continue and to make sure that we can see him. I must put on record that the bail conditions that have been set for Chairman Wontumi's bail, 50 million Ghana cedis, is very onerous. I don't know how many people in Ghana can have property with 50 million Ghana cedis. And I believe that this was just set to prevent his timely release. We are going to follow the due process, the legal process, to make sure that he's released as soon as possible. I want to plead with all of you to remain calm as we work behind the scenes to make sure that he is out. I believe that we will be successful, but we have to be calm and not take the law into our own hands. I think it's very important that we follow due process and make sure that Chairman Wontumi is released safe and sound. Thank you very much.
Well, the development comes after the NPP supporters gathered at the NIB premises demanding Wontumi's release. Dr. Bawumia's intervention helped to momentarily ease tensions. Minority Leader Alexander Feomaki, who accompanied the former Vice President, said the party's determination to secure their chairman's freedom remains unwavering.
According to NIB, he is not their suspect, and he was brought here by EOCO. So as for them, they can only allow access upon firm instructions from EOCO. Well, all those arrangements were made, but upon getting here, they now tell us different story. We'll keep to it, and I'm sure some, I don't know, but I find it very worrying that a country, Ghana, inquiry bail, or someone would demand 50 million cedis worth of properties before the person is granted inquiry bail. I'm telling my friends in NDC one more time, they should check some of these things, because posterity is watching them. Thank you very much.
Were you able to see him at least? Were you able to see Wontumi at least? Did they allow you to see him?
Not at all. Like I said, he's nowhere to be found. They claim they couldn't bring him. They claim they couldn't bring him here, and he's still in the custody of NIB at their Kaokudi office, where they claim until EOCO authorizes, we cannot even see him. But you and I know that they are using the bail to punish him. And like I said, posterity is watching.
They will not even accept Bawumia's plea?
Well, we're all in there together as a leadership of the party.
Okay.
And we didn't just come here. We had a certain understanding that we'll be here and at least see him. But you see, they are showing their wits. They are showing Wontumi where the power lies. They are showing power. So let them continue to show power. I will repeat it. Posterity is watching.
Now, my colleague Michael Ashale has been monitoring the process and is currently at the NIB headquarters with some updates. Michael, if you can hear me, we know that Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia was there earlier. Are their party leaders, are they still at the EOCO headquarters? Hi, Michael.
What you currently see in your shot are the only remaining NPP supporters that are still around here. 2 buses have just parked and left, picking up some other people. If this last group of people leave, that will mean that possibly even journalists here will outnumber the number of NPP supporters here. Now, this mass movement of people from the NIB started immediately after Bawumia and Afenyo Markin left the premises of the NIB after confirming to them that, one, they were not allowed to see Bawumia and they are unsure if, not Bawumia, Wontumi, and they are unsure if it's still in there. And then secondly, I saw that complaining about the bail conditions. You heard from Alex and Afenyo Markin, you heard from Dr. Bawumia as well. So the remaining people that align with the NPP left here waiting for possibly Wontumi appearing from those gates are the only ones here that are currently waiting. But the security are still here manning these gates and making sure the law and order and nobody surprises them at any point. But I can also tell you that the number of security men have also gone down. Previously, they were in the company of some men in military uniform and also national security personnel, but that is not the case as it stands now. Kofi, I don't know.
Our father, who has
and you want to me inside?
Only inside our coffee. But my God, won't me my wife. They don't guard my way, security. Guard my wife.
Say, Mumunipa.
I know when you a brace so dear. How out here? Oh, I never saw son. I'm ready.
Your mama, double salary. Your mama, on Shenny. Or see 24 hours economy 25. Sir, microphone or chichichin say 24 hours economy. Into one jadi away Yanukra. Wait, and yet issue. One jai crown and near brew. akaya chichi akaya chiomu yeba 2016 akaya chiomu.
So you just some of these women who are in between what we are going home, we are going to find something to eat, we are going to rest, and we'll be back. But we also heard some individuals, telling all of them that they've been asked to go home. We'll be here to ascertain for ourselves whether all of these individuals will wait to see whether you appear or emerge behind those gates, or they'll go home to sleep. As it stands now, the security will not leave their post and will wait until this crowd, though small, have dispersed entirely. I'll be monitoring the situation here and bring you up to speed what exactly happens.
Thank you so much, Michael, for that brilliant update.
Well, let's still stay in this on this development, because the minority in parliament, together with party faithfuls of the opposition NPP, have accused the investigative body of violating the human rights of Chairman Wontumi. The opposition is also questioning the 15 million cedis bail conditions set by EOCO, describing it as oppressive. Mr. Nchibosiako is being investigated for his alleged involvement in fraud, money laundering, and international organized crime. However, Ashanti Regional Director of EOCO, Edward Kujo, has been defending the handling of the case by EOCO. Edward Kujo says critics are blowing matters out of proportion. He spoke to journalists at a media training on illicit financial flows held by the Media Foundation for West Africa in Kumasi.
From the supporters or those who are purporting to act in his interest. I think that the institution has followed laid down processes. If you hear from the commentary, his legal representatives are telling you that due process has been followed. It's only those who are on the other side who don't know what really is happening who are making noise. I think that issues of human rights, we've grown as an institution, and human rights are an issue that we want to always respect. And so we afford them the opportunities that the law avails them, and we hope that they take advantage of that. He's been granted bail, I think, and then we're hoping that he can meet the terms of the bail and then secure his freedom. Oh, you should. I think that there are weightier matters we are dealing with, okay? And bail is not just assessed just because somebody feels like it. It depends on the issues they are dealing with, then they assess the terms of the bail. In any case, if they feel that the bail is excessive, the courts are open to them for them to go for a variation of the bail terms. So they can always apply to the courts if they feel that the bail conditions. I feel that the law is there for everyone. The courts are available to anybody. If you feel that it's excessive, you can always go to the courts and see what the courts will have to say, based on the facts that we presented to the courts.
Well, the New Patriotic Party in the Ashanti region has strongly condemned the arrest and continued detention of its chairman, Bernard Nchibosiako, calling it a violation of democratic principle. At a press conference in Kumasi, NPP Regional Secretary Kwame Adomapia said legal processes has been blatantly abused, describing Wontumi's detention as a clear display of power.
It is by these standards that we call upon the EOCO to be guided with. We admit that no single individual is above the law. However, we reiterate the rendition given by Lord Denning and ask these questions. Are we keeping the streams of justice pure and clear? Are the inquiries fairly being conducted right now? Are the arrests and searches and detention of Wontumi properly made? No. And is EOCO ready to eliminate unnecessary delays in giving justice to Wontumi? No. Respectfully, we believe that the answers to all the above questions are a big no. We call upon EOCO to exercise its discretion in a judicious manner to reconsider its bail terms as it is within their discretionary power, so to do. Let fairness and transparency be seen in this whole exercise.
Meanwhile, Bolgatanga Central MP Isaac Adongo has criticized the NPP's minority's U-turn on boycotting parliamentary proceedings in support of Chairman Wontumi. On Thursday, the Minority Caucus announced they would boycott all parliamentary business until NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Nchibosiako was released from EOCO custody. However, less than 24 hours later, NPP MPs returned to the floor, even though Chairman Wontumi remains in EOCO's lawful custody. Mr. Adongo believes this action by the Minority Caucus amounts to a betrayal.
I think to me, we're very, very sad that you are here talking. He was expecting you to sleep at EOCO with him. You abandoned him to sleep there. And today, You promised the people of Ghana that you abandon this chamber. You are here making a lot of arguments. Wontumi, you people should tell Wontumi his people are deceiving him. And he's sleeping there alone and they are here. Arguing for more holidays.
Honorable Dongo.
Mr. Speaker, that is what they made us believe.
Chairman of the committee.
We were surprised when they were sitting on the ground there.
Honorable
But when
Nimedu.
we went there at 7, they had disappeared.
Well, in a related development, NPP General Secretary Justin Kodua has told Joy News that he will spearhead efforts to review the founding member status of Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo following his comments criticizing the party's leadership. Speaking on the post, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo said the opposition NPP lacks leadership.
Before or during the election, I cautioned this country that if the NPP, my party, fail to win the election, they will definitely have what we call B plan or plan B. The records are there. If I'm telling lies, play your tapes, either you or TV3. And I thought the NDC is going to learn from or take a note from what I said. Their leadership in particular. I said they should be careful. These people will come out with plan B. Because they have been in power for 8 years, there have been a lot of stealing and diverting of state properties and monies to foreign countries. And if we are not careful as a nation, that is what they will do. And what is Plan B about? It is as simple as that. They will create a state of confusion that will make it impossible for the government to rule. And that is what we are seeing with our naked eyes. And when that continues, it will get to a stage that another group of people, not necessarily NDC, because people are watching. And the moment security breaks down, what will happen next is the armed forces to take over and make sure there's stability. That is where we are heading to. Anyone who fails to do that, to see that, doesn't know what it's about. I have been in this country, and I know what I'm talking about. There are elders in this country, and they should talk and caution leadership of the country at the moment. That is where we are heading to. We want to destroy the democratic dispensation that we have been given almost 30 years plus ago. Now, by our constitution, after an election, if we fail to win the presidency, the leadership of the party goes into the hands of the chairman of the party, the national chairman of the party. Where is the national chairman of the party? He's nowhere to be found. I have not even heard about him. Where is he? By our constitution, he has the right to control the party. And from the time of B.J. Darocha, Peter Alajete, Audrey Sykes, and others, we've never said something like that. Even when we were confronting military regimes of Jerry John Rawlings, things were done democratically. What is happening now It's a disgrace. But I say it is a plan B. And if we are not careful, I'm questioning this present government headed by John Dramani Mahama. If he takes this as a joke, he will laugh at the other side of his face.
Well, General Secretary Justin Kodia has been reacting to these comments by Dr. Nyahotamaklo and has branded these comments as unfortunate and uncharacteristic of a founding member.
We are in this country whereby there are people who have done such grievous crimes and certain allegations have been leveled against them, who have been given a very favorable and reasonable bail condition. As it stands now, all that the party is doing is to let the world know about what is happening in Ghana, about what is happening to our regional chairman, the Ashanti regional chairman of our party. We have every right to demonstrate our displeasure about what is happening. And we have that constitutional right to do so. We can have the, as we said, the court option, but nothing also stops us from going there to make sure that we solidarize with our regional chairman. And two, he further made the point that this is all aspects of Plan B that the party has harbored, which I find it very dumbfounding, which I find it very strange that a founding member of our party, you can make such a trivialized accusation against your party. Since when did the party have such a Plan B plan? I can tell you that there's nothing like a Plan B plan for our party. We have not harbored any intention of having any Plan B plan that in case we lose, this is what we are going to do. As a party, we are demonstrating our displeasure about the arrest and continued detention of our regional chairman. And that is it. We have nothing or having anything more aside what we are registering our displeasure about. So it's very unfortunate for him to make such a statement.
Now, former IT head at Ghana's embassy in Washington, Fred Kwateng, has firmly denied claims that he misappropriated embassy funds or engaged in unauthorized business activities. The allegations, which led to the closure of the embassy for a few days, also include accusations that he used the embassy's official website to promote a private company linked to him. By speaking on EOCO saying on Asempa FM, Fred Kwateng emphasized that he did not divert any government funds, insisting that embassy officials and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs were fully informed of his activities.
If I had put a charge on coming up with that idea, for example, certain amount of money, so for me providing or coming up with this intellectual idea, the government should pay me this. And I may say operate here. It's a whole different ball game. Because if I ask the mission that because like I said, the one that I provided, I didn't ask money. So if they say, instead of putting the burden on the embassy, let's put the burden on the applicants to find a way to solve the issue of, because the system does address verification. It communicates with them. When there's an issue, they are being communicated to. Tell me, for all these years, did anybody go online or in a social media say, and I'll be a year in future, that's will be from a passport, and no. There was no complaint. But what I'm saying is, for him to say, my divert bansika, I could go name account to mono. That is what we need to dwell.
Meanwhile, Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, in a social media post, has stated the Ghana-Washington embassy issued over 800 visas on Thursday, May 29, after reopening. Now let's go to his post on X, and it says, from the briefing, I have received a reopened embassy in Washington, D.C. issued over 800 visas yesterday on the first day of resumption. I expect this level of efficiency, professionalism, and integrity to continue.
Well, it continues to say that, let me commend our fresh team of seasoned diplomats for the great job so far in implementing our systems overhaul and institutional fumigation. This is testament that Ghanaian diplomats excel when provided with the right ecosystem and leadership. Contrary to false and baseless claims, there have been no new recruitment to replace lost jobs in our Washington embassy. We have an adequate stock of distinguished and astute diplomats to lead ongoing reforms. This patriotic, consequential research agenda aimed at restoring the image of our diplomatic missions abroad cannot be reduced to, quote, jobs for the boys, unquote.
Meanwhile, it is worth announcing that a recently discovered 2023 unauthorized, opaque and illegal agreement between Fred Kwarteng and a top official at the Washington embassy has been declared a nullity and will no longer be respected. More on this plus frozen accounts and other remedial actions will be presented in greater detail when I address Parliament next week.
Well, away from that, President John Dramani Mahama has announced government's plans to establish a Cashew Development Board. The board will oversee pricing, regulation, market access, processing, and research related to cashew industry. Speaking during a thank you tour in the Bono region, he stated that this initiative will create jobs, add value to cashew production, and is part of a broader agenda to industrialize agriculture and strengthen local economies.
The Bono region in Ghana's cashew heartland. Cashew is not just a crop, it is a livelihood for many of our people. For many families, it puts food on the table, it sends children to school, and it fuels our rural economy. Yet, the industry has long lacked a structured policy framework to develop and grow the cashew industry. And that is why our government will still go ahead to establish the long-awaited Cashew Development Board. This board will oversee pricing, regulation, market access, processing, and research in order to give our farmers the break that they deserve. In addition, we are partnering with the private sector to build a cashew processing factory right here in Bono. By processing our cashew locally, we can create jobs and add value and keep more of the wealth within our region. And so this is part of our broader agenda to industrialize agriculture and strengthen local economies.
Well, the president also announced the construction of key and crucial roads in the Bono region. These infrastructure projects will be undertaken under the NDC's Big Push initiative.
Many of you, including Osi Adeyo when he spoke, raised concerns over the road network, and rightly so. Several important roads were initiated during my previous tenure in office. Unfortunately, the change of government in 2017 caused most of these projects to stall, and currently many of them stand incompleted and abandoned. Clearly, this could not have been part of the 10,000 kilometers of roads that were touted by the past administration. Today, I'm pleased to assure you, my in-laws in Bono, that critical projects such as the Sunyani Inner and Outer Ring Roads, the Alaska Catholic University Road, the Brekum Sampa Road, the Sampa Wenchi Road, the Odumasi Bedu Road, Chiremasu Gambia number 1 and number 2 Road, the Sunyani Techiman Road, and the Kumasi Sunyani Roads have all been captured for massive redevelopment. These roads have been prioritized under our Big Push infrastructure program. And I'm happy to announce to you that the Minister of Finance has made adequate financial provision for these roads. Indeed, the Minister of Finance has told me to tell you that funding would not be an excuse. Every contractor who will be working under the Big Push, when he raises a certificate for payment, within 2 weeks he will receive his money.
Yeah.
You're watching Joey's
Prime. We'll take a break here. We'll be back with more. Please do stay with us.
Right. You're welcome back. This is Joy News Prime.
All right, now let's take you to the Ashanti region, because in Kumasi this week has been agog with issues of conflict between commuters and transport operators on the implementation of new transport fares. The city also recorded a major fire incident as a 50-room apartment was ravaged at the Bomso suburb. Meanwhile, the Kumasi Children's Park is receiving attention for redevelopment after decades of neglect, while the decongestion exercise by the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly is chalking success in the Central Business District. Clinton Yabua is on standby to give us details of all of this.
Currently in Kumasi, businesses are moving on. People are going about their daily routine. But some people are in confusion and distress, and these people made the news this week, particularly about the fire in Bomso. Currently, over 50 people have been displaced. We have spoken to authorities who say they are now working out a relief for them. And on the same stretch, you get to the Kumasi Children's Park, which is currently cordoned with roofing sheet to make way for a renovation and a redevelopment. Because of that, traders around the area have been asked to evacuate. On the same stretch, when you move, before you get to Kejetia, there is the Adum PZ pavement or road where traders were occupying to sell. But there was a decongestion exercise which have sacked all traders from this particular pavement. However, today when we got here, we realized that some traders are still crawling back onto the pavement. I would engage some traders to find out why the situation is so and why they are refusing to leave.
Central Market and to rencha masato ye a chirewina she I want to titanic cracker. Anything I may be beginning senti papa Mr. Mecamano from Mamon Fancheme. Yes, sir, are binding in penny for. Say Yamifru, woman, a warrior, a boy. It's yes, warm, woman, mamma. Then Yamifru, one ma. You knew be a can't warm more. It's your boy more say. Me power macho. Yes, Sreka. Say yes, warm. Woman, ya crack, and the anti-tala crack, and the bra, a brandy baby, no. Your best story has yako.
My name is Timmy who say more said, but I didn't hear.
I'm a pacho. I can't want dear. Say, I can't see a fla. Says, ye baby, yako. Because near to my dear race or. And I was say, now you Santa Market, and your back from we say ye boo, ye chair, Dubai, ye nappy, and I ye back play race ya. Near to Otomadia, and a Janso Ebedia. It is also Nakai Abaya Sono, as soon. Yet been coffee. A Jayana baby try. Amaya Ra was so cry, Akata. It is yes, Rano. Now one sees Santa Market in me. Now for one baby. Yeah,
it was very bad. I think the way they treated the traders was poor. Sure, that's what I heard. Sure, whether they have to exercise patience because he's aware the phase 2 is under construction. It's under construction. Side 15, Blue Light also got pens, I think some few months ago. So they should exercise patience with the traders because they are the same people who have come to the roadside to sell.
These are traders justifying why they are now crawling back onto the streets after a decongestion exercise. What they are saying is that until some uncompleted markets are completed, they are somehow compelled to come on the street. These have been the big stories coming from Kumasi. My name is Clinton.
Now, mental health advocate and founder of the Premier Rehabilitation Center, Jahara Osman, is calling on Ghanaians to prioritize their mental well-being as she prepares to host a major forum in Accra on Saturday, May 31, 2025. Now, the event, dubbed the Mental Health Forum, is expected to bring together policymakers, health professionals, faith leaders, and everyday citizens to confront Ghana's growing mental health crisis, a subject Jahara Osman says has long been silenced in homes, workplaces, and churches. Let's more on the following reports.
Give it to me.
In a country where conversations around mental health often remain behind closed doors, one woman is stepping forward, not just to talk, but to act. And her journey begins within.
I also have a condition called ADHD, which is attention hyperactive disorder, which is an internal disorder. So this is something that is very dear to me as I experienced it myself.
Jahara Osman lived with a reality she now fights to change. From misunderstanding behaviors in childhood to building a nationwide advocacy, her experience inspired the founding of Premier Rehabilitation Center and now the Mental Health Forum.
We're not just focusing on parents and children, we're focusing on adults in work environments that suffer from depression, anxiety. We're dealing with people who, for some reason, just when they suffer depression and anxiety, tend to some form of drugs or pills in order to calm their anxiety. We are here to focus on all these issues.
The Mental Health Forum, set for Saturday, 31st May, is a launch pad, one where industry experts, parents, teachers, and policymakers will gather to confront the growing crisis.
We are inviting everyone, we are inviting people who would benefit from the program, investors, stakeholders, to come join us on 31st to discuss what we can do as a society to provide the answers that are tailored to our own.
From children battling undiagnosed conditions to adults silently navigating depression and anxiety at work, Jahara says the silence is costing lives.
Almost pronounced dead through pregnancy, having to leave the children to pursue higher education, building a career, and eating from a restaurant. Deputy Registrar at the University of Media Arts and Communication, Dr. Eliano Araba Entry, best describes her motherhood journey as boisterous. She's been sharing her story with Hannah Odame in the last of our series celebrating motherhood.
In 2023, where the deadlines were looming and there was so much pressure on me around that period, between May and then August 2023. So around that period, I had to submit my documents for promotion to the rank of Deputy Registrar. And that requires minimum of 10 papers. For UDS, they require or request that you submit publications as well. So I submitted 4 publications, 2 technical papers, action memos, position papers. I submitted about 14 of them instead of 10 because I wanted to be sure that I'm giving it to you and I wanted to earn that position. So here I was alone with the children and I had to do that. There was so much pressure on me at that time. I remember that there were times when I closed from work, I sit by my computer in the evening at 6. In between, they will bring their homework because Daddy was working in Accra. So I was there with them alone. The senior one was in a boarding school in Accra. I was there with the 2 young ones. In between, they would bring their homework for me to check. But from 6 p.m., when I closed from work, to the following day, 6 a.m., I'll be by my computer, working on my thesis or fine-tuning my promotion documents. At 6 a.m., I would come out.
So this is where Noella takes a leave of us, and then I welcome to the studio Becky Bex to bring us the showbiz. You stay on. All right, time for us to bring you showbiz, and Becky Bex is in the studio. But Becky, why did you wear Manchester City, really?
Why are you wearing what you're wearing, Manchester United?
Because we are the greatest, but you don't have to bring Manchester City. You could have won Ashanti Kotoko. Yeah, that's it.
What is going on?
Because I'm.
So are you not saying anything about? I understand PSG.
Paris Saint-Germain.
I understand PSG is winning the UEFA Champions League.
But can they beat? Is it that Inter Milan, right? Is it Inter Milan?
Yeah, Inter Milan. It's
right?
Inter Milan.
Yeah,
that we don't know. But so tomorrow at the Aviation Social Center is where you're supposed to be. It's all about the Hits FM Rep Your Jersey. Yeah. Obviously, that's the reason why we're putting on our jersey. So be at the Aviation Social Center and check out who is winning, whether Inter Milan or PSG. And I'm repping PSG. I'm repping Manchester City, who happens to be not in the race.
They're not. They can't be.
And we can't talk about Manchester United because nobody wants to talk about Manchester
Everybody
United.
wants to talk about Manchester United. Don't worry.
Oh, you want to talk about Manchester United?
But did you see I saw a picture on Paris Saint-Germain's Facebook page. Jesus Christ.
So what did the picture say? Oh.
They had taken over all the roads leading to Germany.
Okay.
Jesus. I was like, wow. Look, I think about 4 lanes.
Grace, who do you think is winning the
best team should win. That's it.
You don't think it's PSG?
Like I said,
or you think it's
any of them can
Inter
win.
Milan?
Any of them can win because if you look at how they all qualify to the finals, any of them can. The best team on the day will win it.
So if you want to find out exactly what happens tomorrow, you need to be at the Aviation Social Center. Let's do, other stories. Let me take you to the German embassy in Accra because it hosted a colorful night of music and celebration to mark the 836th anniversary of the port of Hamburg. But the biggest moment came when Ambassador Daniel announced he would be leaving Ghana for 4 years. The event doubled as a farewell, and Ghana's music stars gave him a send-off to remember. Nicholas Ekoyama was there and has come through with this report.
It was a night of unforgettable celebration, not just of history, but of culture, friendship, and music at the residence of the German ambassador in Accra. Guests gathered to celebrate the 836th anniversary of the Port of Hamburg, a historic maritime hub that has long symbolized Germany's global connections, including its ties to Ghana. The night saw Ghanaian musical heavyweight Ochiame Kwame, Kofi Kenata, Abochi, Susan August lit up the stage. For the musicians, the evening was a chance to connect creatively with a diverse audience.
I almost cried on stage when I sang Madame Fopabeko. He's such an amazing, he's very simple, he's very intelligent, he's very helpful, and he's so unassuming, so it breaks my heart. But I know wherever he is, we are still going to stay in contact and do all the great things that we are doing together.
It was amazing. I love performing. The stage is my playground, so I had a good time and I enjoyed the vibes, the good energy in the crowd, yes.
But then came the surprise. A farewell to Ambassador Daniel Koo, whose 4-year tenure in Ghana was marked by strong cultural diplomacy and a deep respect for Ghanaian traditions.
Odo, time to look ahead. If you ask me, Borga, where are you going? I will answer Ghanaian style. God's ways are mysterious. It is not on us to fathom them. Borga must go though. Time to look ahead. I might be sent to a bigger country, much bigger than beautiful Ghana.
What started as a celebration of Hamburg's history became a heartfelt goodbye the Ghanaian way, full of rhythm, smiles, and gratitude. Nicholas Etoyama's report for Joy News.
It's the fireworks for me.
Yeah, and it's how Nico ended the whole report.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Do you know the German ambassador personally?
I've emceed a show where he was, and we had some very good time. And I know how he is passionate about Ghana's development.
We wish him all the best. So another thing that you should look out for tomorrow is the E-Vibes musical band series. We're hosting the Inchinchim band. I'll take you through the times. When you come to Joy News, obviously it's on Saturday and 4 p.m. It'll be repeated Friday. This is actually the part 1 of, because I had like a lengthy conversation with them in Chin Chin Band. They had a lot to say, a lot to share. Okay. I was very excited. You don't really want to miss this, because this time we have like, you know, a whole performance.
This is the one you were in studio with them, right?
Yeah.
The one I saw the other day.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd be lovely.
So there's like a whole performance before the conversation. So this will be the part 1 of the conversation with Inchinchim Band happening on Joy News. And when you go on Joy Prime, the Joy Prime time is same Saturday, 4:30. But when you go to Joy News, it's 4 p.m. It's something that you don't want to miss. We're celebrating bands here in Ghana. I think that we haven't preached that enough. We haven't given viewers that information enough. And so we need all your support. We are begging for all your support.
You've done well. You've done well. I think after you need to do the father of live band, if you want to say, Jack Kodimo.
Okay.
Before, the man at KNUST.
Right.
You have to do him.
Like interview him.
Yeah, before you wrap up the live band.
The live band.
You know, he was honored when they launched the Black Star Experience.
Right.
That man is one solid
man. I need. We'll look at that one as well.
It will be an icing on your cake, because you've done well in promoting the live band.
So that's in Chin Chin Band in the background. Uda and Da by Dasibra Jamina. They actually they covered that one. I love their energy, praise.
Oh yeah, right.
They're just, you know, fun. And should I, let me add this. In Chin Chin Band is actually our CEO's favorite.
Oh. Uncle Gracie.
That's Mr. Kwesi Chum's favorite.
Oh, okay.
So I know that he'll be watching as well. Samson Ladi will be watching as well.
Oh, he comes on tomorrow,
right?
right?
He'll be coming on tomorrow for News File.
Yeah.
And who else is coming for News?
Oh, on Samson's show.
Yeah. Do we have a flyer for Samson? I'm not sure we do.
But I haven't seen. Okay. Unfortunately, I do not have.
Yeah, but you should look forward to Samson's conversation with his panelists. Fantastic.
Of course, they will look at the CJ's removal processes. The CJ
obviously
several injunction of suits this week, which were all quashed. So that will come up. I'm sure they will discuss
Wontumi will be definitely. I mean, they discuss all the big issues in Ghana. So Wontumi.
Let's listen to the song a bit.
Okay.
Odendo, Ajay.
It's your but you're not my order. Please log on to myjoyonline.com. That's where you find all the news. Pius Kojo Baka will be here to give us everything business. And obviously, Musba Razak will also be here to give you everything happening in sports, including everything you need to know about the Hit FM Rep Your Jersey happening at the Aviation Social Center.